Dallas, 1978 cast. Then and now, 44 years later. With its rich oil industry setting, soapy personal dramas, business sleaze, and gunshot cliffhangers, Dallas defined appointment television and became a ratings champ for CBS over the course of its 14 seasons. Even the controversial finale of the show in 1991 had a water cooler moment. Larger-than-life villain J.R. Ewing, Larry Hagman, put a gun to his head in a cliffhanger that wouldn't be resolved until a TV movie called Dallas, J.R. Returns, 5 years later. It's a good time to revisit the Ewings and the rest of the Southfork Ranch regulars. Many of the cast members have passed away, and others have left showbiz behind them. But some Dallas stars are still working in Hollywood, with a contingent of the original cast reprising their roles when TNT revived the show between 2012 and 2014. In this video, you'll see how the actors of the TV series Dallas have changed. You'll learn their real names and ages. I'll show you how they looked then and what they're up to now. Watch till the end of the video to see the cast of Dallas, 1978. Then and now, 44 years after. Larry Hagman. Larry Hagman was best known for playing the ruthless oil baron J.R. Ewing in Dallas. But when he first received the script, he debated taking the role. At the time, Hagman was also offered a role on The Waverly Wonders, but he ultimately decided to go with the primetime soap opera. Prior to becoming an oil king, Hagman was best known for his role on I Dream of Jeannie, where he portrayed the cute and befuddled astronaut Major Anthony Nelson. He clearly had a knack for landing iconic roles. Sadly, Hagman passed away in 2012. He was 81. Ken Kercheval. Ken Kercheval played Cliff Barnes on Dallas, J.R. Ewing's sworn nemesis and a lover of Chinese takeout. A lawyer and a bureaucrat, Cliff was modeled after the late Robert F. Kennedy, and Kercheval played him wonderfully. Kercheval was initially cast as Ray Krebs, but producers ultimately decided that Cliff would be a better fit for the actor. And that clearly was the right move. Kercheval and Hagman were the only Dallas cast members to stay with the series for its entirety, from the first episode to the series finale. Ken Kercheval died on April 21, 2019, at 83 years old. Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy is known for a lot of things. For playing Frank Lambert on Step by Step, for portraying Stephen Logan on The Bold and the Beautiful, and most famously for being Bobby Ewing on Dallas. Bobby was the youngest and nicest brother of J.R. Ewing. Bobby played the central hero of the show and was the Abel to J.R.'s Cain. He also had a Romeo-Juliet-style romance with Pamela Barnes, who was from the rival Barnes family. Duffy is still acting, and most recently he made headlines when in 2020 he announced he was dating Happy Days' Linda Pearl. He is now 73 years old. Linda Gray. Linda Gray is a regular on primetime TV, but she's probably best known for portraying Sue Ellen Ewing on Dallas. If you remember, Sue Ellen was the long-suffering wife of J.R. Ewing, and she played the character so flawlessly that she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy and 2 Golden Globes during the show's run. After leaving Dallas in 1989, she appeared alongside Sylvester Stallone in the 1991 movie Oscar, played Hillary Michaels on 4 episodes of Melrose Place, and portrayed Priscilla Kelly on The Bold and the Beautiful between 2004 and 2005. Recently, she joined the cast of the 2019 comedy flick Granddaddy Daycare. She is now 82 years old. Steve Canale. Steve Canale snagged the role of Ray Krebs on Dallas, who was not only the foreman of the Southfork Ranch, but also the illegitimate son of Texas oil baron Jock Ewing. After the show ended, Canale went on to play Seabone Hunkle on All My Children, and then went on to play in a series of independent films. His recent acting project was reprising the role of Ray Krebs in the 2012 reboot of Dallas, which he played until 2014. He is now 76 years old. Howard Keel. Howard Keel joined Dallas late in the game. He appeared in the series during its 4th season and took on the role of the hot-tempered Clayton Farlow. The oil baron was supposed to be a placeholder replacement for the patriarch role of Jock Ewing, who was played by Jim Davis, who had recently died at the time. But Keel was such a hit among viewers that he was asked to stay on until the series finale. After Dallas, Keel launched a recording career that took off in the UK and sporadically did guest spots on TV shows or took smaller movie roles. Sadly, Keel passed away in 2004, 6 weeks after being diagnosed with colon cancer. He was 85 years old. Victoria Principal. Victoria Principal was best known for playing Pamela Barnes Ewing on Dallas, Bobby Ewing's wife. Since she was a member of the Barnes family, the Ewings were extremely suspicious of her and hostile towards her, something that Principal tried to foster in real life. In what sounded like a decision to method act, Principal kept her distance from the rest of the Dallas cast, creating a rift on set. When she was confronted by the series producer, Leonard Katzman, about her behavior, Principal responded, "I like everybody. It's just that I want to feel like an outsider, like Pam Barnes does being married to a Ewing." Principal continued to act after the show ended, but she also launched a wellness empire, complete with a beauty line and 4 best-selling books on fitness, health, and wellness. She is now 73 years old. Charlene Tilton. Charlene Tilton played Lucy Ewing, the vixenish granddaughter of Jock Ewing. Lucy was raised by her grandparents on Southfork Ranch after her father, Gary Ewing, abandoned her and her mother when she was an infant because of his drinking problems. While her mother planned to raise Lucy on her own, J.R. Ewing ran her out of town and brought Lucy to the ranch. Tilton stayed on the show from 1978 to 1990 and went on to launch a singing career in the UK. She also played smaller roles in series, TV movies, and small-budget films over the years, with her most recent role being in the 2020 Lifetime holiday movie, A Welcome Home Christmas. She is now 64 years old. Susan Howard. Susan Howard is best known for portraying the character Donna Culver Krebs on Dallas. Donna had an affair with the ranch foreman Ray Krebs, whom she eventually went on to marry. Howard initially joined the show for a guest spot, but it eventually evolved into an 8-year contract. Other than a small movie in 1993, Dallas was Howard's last acting project. She has since focused her energy on conservative politics and has been active in the leadership of both the NRA and the Texas Republican Party. She is now 78 years old. Deborah Bernard. Deborah Bernard is best known for her role as Sly Lovegren on Dallas, J.R. Ewing's loyal secretary. She had a recurring role on the show for 10 years, up to its end. Immediately after the show wrapped, Bernard went on to play Whitney Baker on Days of Our Lives for a year, before landing the role of Dr. Esther Pearson on Due South in 1994. She has sporadically landed guest spots on TV shows and movies throughout the years, with her most recent project being the 2020 holiday movie, Deck the Heart. She is now 63 years old. Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley, the famous actor who was married to Elvis Presley from 1967 to 1973, played the role of Jenna Wade on Dallas. Jenna was Bobby Ewing's first love, but their relationship was less than ideal. The two were supposed to get married, but she left him at the altar and ran away to Italy, where she married a count and had his daughter. After her turn on Dallas, Presley went on to co-star in the Naked Gun franchise, but has since retired from acting in order to focus on Enterprise. She is now 77 years old. Deborah Trinelli. Deborah Trinelli portrayed Phyllis Wapner, Bobby Ewing's secretary on Dallas. She played the role from 1981 to the series end in 1991. After the show wrapped, she had a guest spot on Law & Order for one episode in 1995, and then tried switching gears to music by releasing a jazz album called A Lot of Livin' in 2004, which won 3 Backstage Bistro Awards. She then went on to do theater in New York City and has appeared in multiple off-Broadway and regional shows. Her most recent one was Sing Me a Song in 2019. She is now 67 years old. Cheri J Wilson. Cheri J Wilson played April Stevens Ewing on Dallas, who was married to Jack Ewing, JR's cousin. April and Jack went through a messy divorce that left April with a 50-cent settlement, but that didn't put her off of Ewing men. Later on in the series, she fell in love with and married Bobby, but died during their Paris honeymoon. In real life, Wilson was pregnant and left the show for that reason. After Dallas, Wilson landed the role of Alex Cahill on Walker, Texas Ranger. Most recently, she has moved from starring in independent films to playing in holiday movies, with 2019's A Mermaid for Christmas being her most recent one. She is now 64 years old. Priscilla Pointer. From 1981 to 1983, Priscilla Pointer played Rebecca Barnes Wentworth on Dallas, the estranged mother of Cliff Barnes, Pam Barnes Ewing, and Catherine Wentworth. During her stint in Dallas, Pointer also played the role of Nurse Kathy Benson on Quincy, M.E. After the show wrapped, she went on to guest star on popular TV shows and a few independent films before quietly retiring. Her last role was in the 2008 TV movie Sweet Nothing in My Ear, which starred Jeff Daniels. She is now 98 years old. Shalane McCall. Shalane McCall's brief stint in Hollywood reached its peak when she landed the role of Charlie Wade, Jenna Wade's daughter, on Dallas. She portrayed the role for 5 seasons, from 1983 to 1988. After she left the show, she had one episode guest spot on the new Leave It to Beaver in 1988, and then later retired from acting. A year later, at 17 years old, McCall married musician Trent Valadares, whom she has been married to ever since. Now she's 50. Ombre Katz. Ombre Katz played John Ross Ewing III, the son of J.R. and Sue Ellen Ewing, from 1983 to 1991. After the show wrapped, he went on to play Max in Disney's iconic Halloween movie Hocus Pocus, starring Bette Midler, Jessica Sarah Parker, and Kathy Najimy. He retired from acting in 2002 and now reportedly runs the Merry Danksters, a cannabis company. He is now 46 years old. Jack Scalia. Jack Scalia played Nicholas Pierce on Dallas, Sue Ellen's boyfriend who fell off a balcony while fighting with JR in his penthouse. This led Sue Ellen to famously shoot JR 3 times. Afterwards, he landed the role of Chris Stamp on All My Children from 2001 to 2003, and then went on to star in a few independent films. Most recently, he played on the TV series Saints and Sinners from 2017 to 2018, and has 3 independent films in the works for 2020 and 2021. He is now 72 years old. Audrey Landers. Audrey Landers played Afton Cooper on Dallas, the sister of Mitch Cooper. Afton went on to have affairs with both J.R. Ewing and his nemesis Cliff Barnes, but she ultimately fell for Cliff. After Landers left the show, she joined One Life to Live from 1990 to 1991 as Charlotte Hesser. In 2007, she had a 4-episode story arc as Veronica on Burn Notice, and she has since played in a few TV movies and independent films. She is now 66 years old. Fern Fitzgerald. Fern Fitzgerald is best known for her portrayal of oil cartel businesswoman Marilee Stone on Dallas, whom she played from 1979 to 1989. After her stint on Dallas ended, she guest starred in a variety of popular TV shows like Seinfeld in 1996 and Life Goes On for 3 episodes between 1990 and 1992. She also appeared in the original productions of Chicago and A Chorus Line on Broadway. But since her guest appearance on Seinfeld, she has stepped out of the public eye. She is now 75 years old. Kathy Podwell. Kathy Podwell is best known for playing Callie Harper Ewing on Dallas from 1988 to 1991. She played the second wife of J.R. Ewing, whom J.R. met while on a hunting trip when she was his waitress. After Podwell left Dallas, she had a series of guest appearances on popular TV shows like Beverly Hills 90210, Walker, Texas Ranger, and Growing Pains. She then took a break from acting, but returned back to Hollywood in 2013 to reprise the role of Callie for 1 episode in the reboot of Dallas. She is now 58 years old. Jenna Lee Harrison. Jenna Lee Harrison played Jamie Ewing Barnes in Dallas from 1984 to 1986. After her character was killed off, Harrison landed roles in both independent films and action movies, like playing in 1991's Prime Target opposite Tony Curtis. Then, between 1996 and 2005, Harrison began appearing in popular infomercials like the Ab Flex and The Ultimate Chopper with Chef Tony. She is now 64 years old. John Beck. John Beck is best known for playing Dallas's Mark Grayson, Pamela Ewing's fiancé during the series Dream Season, Season 8. Afterwards, Beck landed a leading role on Santa Barbara from 1991 to 1992, playing David Raymond. He had a few notable roles after that, including portraying Jack Foley for 3 episodes in Walker, Texas Ranger, and playing Bruce in Passions. Then, in 2009, he retired from acting, citing exhaustion. He is now 79 years old. Deborah Shelton. Deborah Shelton was best known for portraying Mandy Winger, one of J.R. Ewing's mistresses in Dallas. While at first she was supposed to have a limited guest role, fans wrote the show demanding she come back, resulting in her joining the cast from 1984 to 1987. Shelton went on to play in TV movies and land guest spots on TV shows, with her most recent being the 2018 comedy mystery movie Blood Type, which starred Jim Hanks and Wolfgang Bodison. She is now 74 years old. Morgan Brittany. Morgan Brittany portrayed Catherine Wentworth, the devious younger half-sister of Pamela Ewing and Cliff Barnes on Dallas. After she left the show, she moved on to collaborate with producer Aaron Spelling, who cast her in recurring roles on The Love Boat, Hotel, Fantasy Island, Melrose Place, and the 90s revival of Burke's Law. While she has played in a few independent films over the years, she is now best known for being a conservative commentator. Brittany writes a weekly column for World Net Daily, has been a recurring guest on Hannity, and has appeared on The Kudlow Report, Fox and Friends, and The Dennis Miller Show. She is now 71 years old. Dak Rambo. Dak Rambo was known for portraying cousin Jack Ewing on Dallas, a role he played from 1985 to 1987. Afterwards, he landed the role of Grant Harrison on Another World. But in 1991, he learned that he was infected with HIV and retired from acting shortly thereafter. He passed away in 1994 at 52 years old. Christopher Atkins. Christopher Atkins established himself as a heartthrob when he landed the role of Richard Lestrange in the 1980 film The Blue Lagoon. And he doubled down on that reputation when he joined the cast of Dallas as Peter Richards for one season. Richards was John Ross Ewing's camp counselor who went on to have an affair with the young boy's mom, Sue Ellen. Since leaving Dallas, Atkins has had steady work in TV movies and independent films, with his most recent being the 2012 crime thriller Attraction to Paris, starring Tara Reid. He is now 61 years old. Lee Taylor Young. Lee Taylor Young played Kimberly Kreider from 1987 to 1989. Kimberly was the young wife of an influential Texas oilman and had an affair with JR. Afterwards, she went on to play Rachel Harris on Picket Fences, Elaine Stevens on Sunset Beach, and Catherine Barrett Crane on Passions. One of her most recent roles, after a 10-year break in acting, was narrating the 2019 indie film Mariette in Ecstasy. She is now 77 years old. Sasha Mitchell. Sasha Mitchell played James Beaumont on Dallas, who was J.R. Ewing's manipulative son that came from J.R.'s affair with Vanessa Beaumont in Vienna. After Mitchell wrapped his 2-year stint on Dallas, he was reacquainted with a co-star on his next project. Mitchell played Cody Lambert on Step by Step, the nephew of actor Patrick Duffy's character Frank Lambert. He played Cody from 1991 to 1998, and then went on to play in smaller movies and land guest spots on popular TV shows. His most recent role was playing the thug Shope on 2019's Drunk Parents, which starred Salma Hayek and Alex Baldwin. He is now 55 years old. Lee McCloskey. Lee McCloskey is a soap veteran, best known for portraying Mitch Cooper on Dallas, who was Lucy Ewing's husband. After Dallas wrapped in 1991, McCloskey went on to play Ethan Asher on Santa Barbara, Damian Smith on General Hospital, Drake Faraday on One Life to Live, and most recently Dr. Kurt Costner on The Young and the Restless. He is now 67 years old. Do you remember these cast members from Dallas 1978? It's so hard to believe that it's been over 44 years since the show first aired. The cast has changed a lot, and some have even already left this world. But they surely left us an amazing show. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.